In this following video, I was trying to find a way to explain to you that there is a reason not to worry on different levels about what's going on right now, that things are going to change. Also, when I mentioned the only thing that's sold on the website, our website, spiritualfoundation.com, the only thing that's sold there now are spheres, but we're only selling them to people in the U.S. because everyone's postal service is screwed up. We've tried sending out stuff, gifts and stuff to our family members in Spain, and we just did it for them, and it's still waiting to get there. I believe it's probably 1-2 months or something. It's been a long time. So these spheres are expensive, and we're not going to tie someone's money up like that. So when things get back to normal, they'll get shipped out of country. But I expect before that happens, I'll finally be able to get out of here. This body will finally drop, and I'll be free so I can get to work. And then Deanna's going to close the shop completely for whatever she wants. 3 months, 2 months, whatever she wants, whatever she thinks is right. It's her business. So those of you that know me, you can understand the information I left you, especially the one video that shows two things I've done, that I've talked about before, and there's more coming. You'll find out when those people, I've gone into their heads, and I show you the quantitative electroencephalogram results from a test done in Sweden, and I was over here going into someone's brain over there. There's all the proof you should need to at least open your mind to think something's going on. All the figures, if you go to thespiritualfoundation.com and you go to the front page and you look at the QEEG results that are there, it shows all the data, everything. You print that out or just copy it, take a picture of it and go to somebody who does the quantitative electroencephalogram tests and you show it to them, they'll tell you it's real. But I hope when you finish watching this video that you're going to understand that there's a reason for you to have hope. Okay? When the sky went dark, when the CCP in Beijing were just starting their little meetings where they talk about how we're going to destroy and control the world, all of a sudden the sky went dark and the lightning was going crazy in every direction. The same video, a doctor in New York walked into, I've told you that the people that have really been abusing people and getting hurt, their intestinal walls are going to come apart, and they're going to have a very, very serious, painful death. And those, the nice people, they get, hurt and everything. It's time for them to go. It's going to be painless, just like the Sega antelope. Well, I show you, I give you a timestamp and everything for that one video that'll show you. The doctor, surgeon, whatever he was, doctor goes into this room with a Covid-19, CCP, whatever patients are, and when the blood oxygen level, I have to check mine all the time because I got 2 lung diseases and 2 heart diseases. When it gets down to 90%, you're in trouble. You're incoherent, mumble if you can, can't try to walk or anything. He had patients there that had 50% blood oxygen, not 90, 50. They were talking on cell phones, walking around like they were, getting around like there was no problem. Not walking around like they're running, but they were moving, talking, and intellectually fine. And they should have been literally dying at that moment. And then finally, they died. no pain, no nothing. That's because they're good people. I hope I gave you enough. Those of you that know me, you understand already. Those of you that don't, I hope I gave you enough for you to want to at least try to open up your mind to the good things that are coming. And because I talked a bit about myself, this isn't about me, it's about everyone else. But what I am inside, all of us, it's spirit that runs your body. It's your spirit that runs that body and comes through the body. We all have spirit. What I am inside is really strong. And it's made to serve and protect. Okay, so anyway, here's the video, and there's some good information in there for you. Still waiting to get out of here, get out of this body. But things, in many ways, have gotten so bad. This Covid-19 CCP virus, I mean, it's a bad joke. And China's going crazy. China's giving everyone money, and so many people and organizations have taken money from China. It's blood money. Where they torture people and everything else, it's organ transplants. It's all over the news. It's wild. Plus, everyone's so worried about getting this virus. I like to call it CCP virus, and I will. I wanted to tell you about some things and try to offer you a little proof. My videos are for anyone that'll listen, but I have a lot of people that I've touched energetically, and you know I'm real. And you know how I understand things. There's nothing but equality everywhere. It doesn't matter who or what you are. It's like people talk about racism. I'm like, I know what it is, but I mean, how can that make any sense when you understand that people go back into different bodies having lives, the same people? When I say people, I'm talking about spirit, sentient energy, the same beings. When they keep going back and having lives, there'll be different religions, different colors. Once you know that, the thought of racism is kind of, it's senseless. It holds no value, but people, the very vast majority of people are still so unaware. I say ignorant. Ignorant's not a bad thing. I'm ignorant about a lot of stuff. It just means I'm not aware. Ignorant equals not aware, not yet aware of something. That's ignorance. When you're not aware of something and someone helps you understand why, what's going on with something, and then you say, well, I don't want to, believe that. I want to keep staying ignorant. At that point, you're just being stupid. But putting your head in the sand, whatever. So anyway, again, I'm not bashing people. I'm just saying what is, and you can see it for yourself. And if YouTube, Google, if you want to put down this video, that's fine. You do it at your discretion. Let me tell you about things that are done against me, against the betterment of everyone. Before I go there, and YouTube, Google, there's a lot of good people there, but things have gotten so nutty in the politics of things, plus all the money that China's paid everybody, almost everybody. They haven't paid me anything. They could offer $20 million for nothing, and I'd tell them where to put it. I've always been like that. Anyway, for those of you that just got here, I have 2 heart diseases and 2 lung diseases. And I'm terminally ill. I'm waiting to get out of here. when I get out of here, what I am inside can go to work. And I have stuff to do. I'm not normal, what I am inside. People can take little bits and pieces of things I say and use it for little bites. They don't. Especially those that know that I can go inside and touch your head. And you feel me inside your head. No matter where you're at, I just reach you, and it's to help you. That's why your government agencies, especially here in America, were so interested in me. They used to follow me around everywhere. Kind of funny. Anyway, I'd see them, go up to them to talk to them, and usually 98 out of 100 times they just run. Literally run away. Anyway, I've been trying to get people to understand who they are. It's important you know that, especially when you have those that you love that are close to passing, leaving their physical body and becoming themselves again. People remember, you are not the body. That body is the car that you're in, trying to drive, but you don't have total control of it. It's the other side. The other side has beings on it. That's you when you're not in the body. You're on the other side. Okay? It's known as the second dimension. People talk about different dimensional stuff. Sorry, but they're 99.99% wrong. I'm from the beginning. That's why I understand things the way they do. My energy is very strong. That's why this body just won't quit, in spite of everything that's wrong with it. Those of you that know me, April 4th of this year, I wound up going into the hospital, and I came back on the 11th and found out I have diabetes. I had some kind of real bad diabetic episode. It's 3 letters. I forget what it is. But it's a complete shutdown. So, you almost want to say what's next, but you don't bother. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But when you look at the physical body, what makes it run? There's no extension cord that you plug in anywhere. You don't go to sleep at night and plug an electrical cord into your nose to charge your batteries. People say the brain is what makes the body live. Well, what makes the brain live? Nutrition, oxygen, so maybe it's the lungs. No, it's the heart, because the heart, keeps the blood pumping. No, what keeps the heart going? There's a form of etheric, metaphysical energy. It's spirit, sentient energy that runs your body. Okay, I'm going somewhere with this, okay? It's very important. And it's that energy, that spirit is you, but it's in a piece of it, the strongest piece of it, but it's only a very teeny part of you, is in the body, and then it goes out through it goes into the brain, comes out through your mouth, forming words, different body functions, the organs, your metaphysical abilities come out the pineal, comes out through the solar plexus, the heart. I've written books about how creation started and where it's going and what's about to happen. The latest I should have been stuck here in this body is December of 2018, the very last, and of course here it is, getting close to midway of 2020. So the timetable for what was going to happen is off, but Not for too much. Not too much longer. When you take EEGs, EKGs, QEEGs, quantitative electroencephalograms, they read the electromagnetic pulse that goes through your body. You can't use that to run a car, to start a car, to light up a light bulb, but it's real. It's there. It's metaphysical energy. When your body doesn't have that energy in it anymore, the body dies. There's nothing to make it run. It doesn't take a high energy to do it. It's strong, but it's metaphysical. The spheres that we sell have a lot of, that I say we, it's Deanna's business, but I've been a part of it. I helped make it with her. Here's a stone called star essonite. This is the strongest energy stone on the planet. When you take it, relax, hold it with the fingertips from both hands, you can, if you relax and let go and tell yourself inside, I want to feel any energy that's in a stone, and just relax, you'll start to feel it, but you have to let go. Gaia, the planet, the energy that's in this planet, the Earth, people say, that scientists will tell you they have actually measured the heartbeat of the Earth. They're measuring the frequencies of Gaia, the planetary essence that's inside the Earth. It's a magnetic pulse, again, just like these bodies, because you're in there, your spirit's in there. Stones have it too, that's real. Those customers of mine, that of Diana and mine, of thespiritualfoundation.com, it's thespiritualfoundation.com, that have bought a bunch of these spheres. This is just some, golden covered, it's not gold, golden, plated, some whatever plastic. And then this is some acrylic plastic. It's the pure copper with the stones in there, especially a lot of star essonite, and most all of them. It's so strong. When you hold a stone and everything, have it on you like this, you can feel the energy in your hands. Sometimes you feel it. I watch it go through your body. And this is going somewhere. I'm going to give you some proof on the internet. And from one video, proof of two things. She said, she loves animals, had 2 dogs and everything, and she said that her neighbor's dog took off, and she's worried something's wrong. And I looked and I said, yeah, something is wrong, but I'll go out there. I drove 45 minutes out there to go to her house, and then it was a neighbor. I got there, I relaxed, I reached out and felt what was going on. I said the dog will be back in just over 20 minutes. But there's something wrong. Something happened to him. And also you have a butthead, I didn't use that word, something better. Neighbor, this guy over here. Not that one right here that owns a dog, the one on the other side, he's a problem. And she goes, here he is. Well, the dog did come back in 22 minutes or something. And it had a barely grazed shot on its back hip, and that's because that neighbor shot it would have gone. And then another time she was in a vet, and her one of her dogs, Max, was in there and was hurt. Of course, that's why she took him to the vet. He was having problems, and she said, please, can you help me? I said, okay, just a minute. I'm going to crank up and go there and give him all the energy so I could. So I relaxed about 2 seconds, and then I went to him, and I put all the energy I could in him to heal him. And then all of a sudden the dogs are going crazy, barking and everything in the place. And then she said, what do you do? And I said, well, I went to feed him my energy to heal him. And she said, well, you knocked the power out over here. The dogs are all going crazy. Actually, she said the dogs started barking first, and then the power went out. Then the dogs went nuts. And then she wound up taking Max home now that he was better. He was an older dog. It was near time, so I just gave more energy. Now, a lot of people say, okay, that's bogus. This old dude doesn't know what he's talking about. Let me show you something. If you go to the spiritualfoundation.com, you're going to see some graphs. This is one of them. Okay, there's 4 of them. There's this graph, then there's, come on. Anyway, there's another one that's blue. There's another one similar. That's blue. These are graphs taken, spit out by a QEEG, quantitative electroencephalogram. And these are from a person named Martin Pera. He was in Sweden at the time. I was sitting in a different chair right here. And the graph on this side, let's see, the graph on this side is what the computer spit out for the test that was done when it was just him and going through a test. It's a net they put on your head with all these wires and probes, sensors coming off, the wires coming off, the little sensors everywhere, and it reads electromagnetic energy, okay? So the one on the left is the normal one. The one on the right is the same exact test. He was relaxed with his eyes closed to make sure there was nothing wrong, because the lady that did this test in Sweden, Martin already told her about me and that I could go to people anywhere and put my energy into them. So if you look at this one over here, if you look at that right there, you can see some of the activity. Okay, you see a few different lines going from one of the sensors to the other. If you take a look at that, and then you take a look at this one, take a look at that one right there, the two of them that are circled, the one on this side, it's got, 4 times the amount of energy going through it. Okay? And then you look at this up here, that's the delta absolute power. That's on a test that I wasn't touching them, okay? Now you go to this one over here, and that's where the test where I was touching it. Well, the blue is the lower amount of energy, and then the orange-red is the highest. So if you look at it, it's just the amount of energy I was putting into him was just going crazy in his head. Now, all I did is take my energy, put it into his hypothalamus gland. There's scientists in Europe. There's geneticists scientists in Spain. There's geneticists in Belgium. There's a few places around the world where I've talked with these different scientists, and I've gone into them, put my energy into them, and they could feel it, and they're like, what the hell? I've talked to a lot of them here in the States. I'm no better than a stick in mud. I'm not. I don't understand better than, okay? Almost everybody wants to be better than. That's useless. That's totally useless. What? I don't understand. It just makes zero sense to me. It's non-productive. We can do different things, perform different functions better than each other. No one can do this the same way I do it. Now, Deanna, she can do it. There's other people around here, or around the world, that can do it. It was important I got to them and cranked them up so that they could do it for other people. And as soon as I'm gone, they're going to be doing a lot of it. This is part of what's coming. And also, the genetic scientists in Spain, they have the information. After I'm gone and things settle down, they'll release all of it. You'll read it in medical journals that when I've done this to people, I literally did change their DNA, evolve it. Now that sounds like hocus pocus, whatever. I mean, if you go to thespiritualfoundation.com and you look at those graphs, it's got the numerical readouts and everything else. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is I can reach out with my mind. I'm something different. I'm from the very beginning. And I'm no better than anything else. None of us are. We're all family that came from the original first being that became sick from being alone. It split itself into two different parts, literally creating male and female, just to have two different parts of itself to have company. Anyway, those of you that some of you have almost every sphere we've ever made. Those of you that don't know yet, these spheres they're expensive. They're anywhere from like $700 to $1,100. People are still buying them, but if you put in an order and Deanna sends out, Deanna will send out the invoice to you, we'll know if you really can't afford it, and if you can't, we're not going to sell it. When everything is right in your life, if you have a lot of money, fine. But if you don't, you need to eat first. You need to hold on to your money until we get done with this new disease, the COVID-19 /CCP virus. I guess the actual name is COVID-19, but because of what the CCP did to make sure the whole world got infected. Anyway, their CCP's going down. Things are going to happen. Anyway, the Russia is going to change. I'll tell you about that in another video. They're going to become a democracy, but not till the problems that are there, the military complex that's there, the people that actually control it, they're going to drop dead. And none of that's going to happen until I get out of here. And then Putin can finally do what he wants to. Putin's a very smart man. He's a good man. But he needs to be free to do what he wants. So Russia does not do what he wants it to do. He's powerful, but he's not in control of everything. You'll find that out on your own. Anyway, so when you have those spheres, all the strong spheres with star Essenite in them, if I made you small ones in the very beginning when I started doing this, years ago, they're all cranked up now, where they'll go out, they'll reach out a radius of 45 feet. If you have a 3-bedroom house or a 4-bedroom house, and you put one of those spheres, one of the strong, especially the power spheres, you put it you look at where everyone sits, and you put it somewhere in the hall, right in the middle. Put it on a table. Put it in a table. That energy is going to reach everyone and crank them up. It does it while you're sleeping. It doesn't need a plug. It doesn't need a battery. Why? Because it's metaphysical energy, just like you inside your body. However, to really catch the strong effect of it, you want it the strongest it can put out. It's good to have it 10 foot away from you. So if you can do that, fine. Some people are sensitive. Some people can hardly feel stone energy. Some people are sensitive, and 10 foot's just too close. You might have to put it in the other room. Some people can put it right next to them and they'll never feel it. Deanna she'll make a sphere for you. If you want a certain kind of sphere, we make that, but we modify every one of them to those frequencies that most behoove you, because we look at you and we see you. Anyway, she said stones don't have energy, so I gave her this big piece of star Essenite that was smoothed off, rounded off by being in a river. It was about as big as this sphere. And so anyway, she told me stones don't have energy and everything. I said, okay, well, just hold on to this for a while. So she did, and we're talking and everything. It was her, myself, and another friend of ours, a friend of both of ours. She was an iridologist working with eyes, but she was also very metaphysically intuitive. There's no such thing as a psychic. No such thing. But having said that, every single living being has metaphysical abilities. What do you call mother's intuition? Is that something you can physically grab and put in a box? Lock it up? No. Okay? When you feel someone staring at you, you turn around and there's someone looking at you. You feel something on the back of your head. Soldiers, police. You all know what I'm talking about. That's just a part of it. Anyway, so metaphysical is real. Everyone has them. Those people that have learned how to understand them, accept them, understand them, work with them, build them up, they're metaphysical practitioners. When you use stones, they will help you wake up. These spheres are incredible powerhouses. There's nothing in creation that'll wake you up and make you stronger than one of the spheres that we sell. Okay, anyway, and when you want to go to feel it, you take your hands out here, okay, or go farther, and very slowly move them, aim your palms towards the sphere. You barely go closer, and all of a sudden you feel the warmth in it. Oh! Wow, sorry, I can't hold my hands up like that. My heart's... if it wasn't for the massive amount of energy in this body, there's no way that this excuse of a physical mass of a body would still be functioning. But anyway, the closer you get, you start to feel it. So you usually feel heat in your palms and your fingertips, maybe tingling. Maybe when your solar plexus, you make your decisions with your gut feeling. It's incredibly powerful. It's the singular most powerful metaphysical energy field in your body. However, it doesn't have all the same feeling and everything else. There's heart, there's solar plexus, and then there's pineal with the brain. Those are the three basic power centers. So anyway, that's basically how they work. You feel it like that and just hold it there. You can feel it. That tells you that it's real, you're real. Take your hands and go and make in your mind, make a sphere. Just say, I'm making a sphere of my energy. And you start to go a little closer, and then all of a sudden you feel warmth in your hands, tingling in your fingertips, warmth, pressure, physical pressure. Even though there's nothing there, well, there is. It's energy, it's metaphysical, it's real. That's proof that you're real. Never dismiss anything in the real world, in the physical world, but the realist world, the reality is that the physical realm, physical stuff, is a small piece of the full reality, which is mostly metaphysical. Ghosts. There are people like you when you're not in a body. You or me, whatever, then there's really no such thing as a ghost. There's people that are not in a body, that's all. Anyway, it's always been so important for me to get you people to understand who you are. And when someone goes out of the body, and when the body dies and they leave and they go home, I'm happy for them, because all of us, every single one of us, are happy to go home. Some of us get home and we have a lot of love for our children and stuff, and that's normal, and you go around them and try to help them. Someone I know passed away very recently, and the second they were gone, I started talking with them on the other side. He was mad, he was happy about this and that, and it was a Source family. His spirit literally came from Lily and I. We're from the beginning. Lily and I were very clean Source energy. Anyway, and no better than nothing else. Deanna can tell you, just like I will, we've met so many wonderful, beautiful, almost everything is soul. But we know and have met so many beautiful people that are soul spirit, and they are the most precious, beautiful people you could ever want to meet. Anyway, all that stuff's in the books. I didn't want to go there. I wanted to tell you enough to understand what I'm about to tell you now. Let me get this down. That's one of Deanna's spheres I made for her. Deanna makes the spheres now. I can't anymore. She cranks them up and then I crank them up. And this body's got like no energy left in it. You know, I'm sagging, I'm going. Most of my energy is outside. My metaphysical ability, like to crank up stones and stuff, or the spheres, stronger than it's ever been. Okay. Oh, floating. I told you some proof that's on the video, that's in video on YouTube. I've been saying for years that when I get out of this body and I'm myself and I have access to my pure self, when you're inside a body, you can't remember stuff and everything. A teeny piece of you is in that body, and it's like a huge dampening field. If you take a tuning fork and you tap something hard, the table or something, and then you listen to it, it's got really nice, sound to it. When you tap it again, you hear that. You stick it in tar real quick and you pull it out. That's what that teeny piece of you, even though it's the strongest, most intelligent, powerful part of you, is so small. When you put it inside a body, it's just dumbed out. Okay, that's why your metaphysical abilities just don't go flying out everywhere. That, and there's a filter over the top part of your head. Since only a piece of you can fit in the body, it'll be inside the brain, and then the rest of you is floating out here. Now this, so this is copyrighted 2018, and that's the company logo. It's a lion. It's a tiger with a lion's mane. Anyway, this is a filter. This pink thing is a filter, and then you're stuck. The biggest part of you, the strongest part of you, it's a small piece. The strongest part of you is inside the body, up around, actually in the brain. Okay. And then here's this pink thing is a filter. Well, that's you floating out of the body. That filter keeps your emotional energy from input, that you're developing through the body and everything you go through. It keeps it from going into the main part of you that's huge, floating outside of your body, and this the third, and above that into the second dimension. Okay? Now, right here, here's the upper crown. There's the middle crown. There's the lower crown, that little moon thing looking, and then the big thing, that's the hypothalamus. Okay? Angels, the original angels, they will go through that filter, through the upper crown, middle crown, lower crown, right into the hypothalamus and run you. And they tell you have to hurry up, run through the door, and bury your head right through that plaster wall. And you will get up, and you have to. You will get up and do it. And then all of a sudden, the angel pulls this energy away, and you're like, what the hell just happened? So that's why sometimes little things like that, not extreme like that. I'm trying to make a very strong analogy, but little things too. But enough to mess with you. You jump on your spouse, giving them a real hard time with your children, and then you're just like, wow, where did that come from? Well, it wasn't you. Anyway, if you go to this video, It's the name of the YouTube channel is China in Focus. Okay, now this isn't about beating on China or anything else. You know, they have enough coming for their own reasons. This is something I want you to understand. I've talked before about what's going to happen with China and other people around the world, how things are going to change. And people say, you know, well, you just, that it's too big a thing, it'll never change. Walking around with masks all the time, people aren't going to do that on this planet for the rest of eternity. That's all going to go away. How does it get handled? It has to be done by the other side. People say, oh, God, do this. God, Allah, Yahweh, you know, give me this. Well, I guess he gave you the virus. If that you think he's in charge, he gave you the virus. How many loved ones or people do you know have died from it? I mean, come on, you know. And anyway, I said that a lot of people are going to be going, just like the Sega antelope did in 2015. In February, I think it was in February, I said that the animals are going to start leaving in large droves. But I really need to get home first. Well, after saying that, a month later, near the end of March, there it is across YouTube in Kakistan, over 220,000 Sega antelope just died. They just, boom, fell over. It's because their immune system was the little microbes and stuff we have in us that actually attack incoming germs to protect the body. They only live a couple hours or an hour or something. So they were mutated so that they would attack the body instead of protect it. And the animals are made by loving spirit on the other side, which happens to be Arae and Lily, to just drop. And that's what happened, okay? These bodies are not ours. They come from the planet originally, and then the reproduction and everything keeps them going. But we have to absorb stuff from the planet and from other animals and stuff, which is mass that comes from the planet also to keep them going. Eventually, there won't be any bodies, any physical bodies anymore. There'll be energy bodies. But anyway, so that's what's going to happen. There's good people dying right now. It's not for everybody, but it's because I'm not home yet. I'm still stuck here. But already I'm doing what I can. The part of me that's outside of the body, it's like the energy of a huge, huge dragon. It's doing what it can to start doing things right. It's been running around China this year, just going nuts. It's dark. It made the sky go black. Now that happened the 21st, just a few days ago. Well, that was me. That was that part of me, Arae. Not this body Essex thing. It's what I am inside. Okay, Arae, the original, the first, the initial. Other parts of me have come off, and they've had, they're individuals now. But I'm the original anyway, the big one, and the strongest. That's how I was made, and by having over 10.846 trillion lives, of the more you're abused in life, the more powerful and larger your energy gets. Anyway, hail. I brought a few hailstorms. I've destroyed I don't know how much of China's crops, trying to get these idiots in the CCP to back down, and I knew it wasn't going to happen, but I'm making a point. Okay, now this video right here, it's got a picture of Trump holding a microphone and putting his hand out, and then it says, what, dangerous signal, but the actual name is, the name of the actual video is official forced into mental hospital, second virus outbreak, Trump, and then US 2, and then it goes out. Okay, that's the actual video. Now, when you, it's so frustrating. I don't have enough warmth in my fingers to close this. I have to make up for pressure, and it doesn't like that. Okay. If you go, whoops. You go in the video, if you look at the bottom right over here, if you look at the time, it says 4 minutes and 6 seconds, I think, 4:08, 4:06 or something. If you go to that video and go to that timestamp, then what you get is they talk about a surgeon that, or some kind of medical doctor or something, maybe a surgeon, whatever. Misquote me all you want, I don't care. I love everyone, but I don't care about what people say about me. What matters is that you learn about yourself. And I want you to know that there is such a thing as me. And as soon as I'm out of here, no one will ever go through what they've been going through. All these lives from the very beginning that you've had. The original one that wanted it that way, that made this creation so abusive, they're dead. Okay? Everything's going to change. Compassion. That's what's coming. Okay? It says right here, this is just a little while later. As a matter of fact, this timestamp is 4 minutes and 20 seconds right over here. They talk about the doctor. While he practices at Littleton Regional Healthcare in New Hampshire, Levitan recently spent, that's his name, I guess, almost 2 weeks volunteering in an emergency room in New York City Hospital. And then what he said, this Dr. Levitan, he watched patients come into an emergency room with blood oxygen levels as low as 50%. 50%. Okay, I have a meter to read blood oxygen level because of my lung disease. And when I get down to 92, I'm really having problems, really dizzy, 92 to 93, sometimes 94. My heart doesn't put out much blood either, so that makes it a little bit worse. But if you go down, it says right in the article, you go down to 90% oxygen in your blood, that's not good. He was treating people, and when I say 90%, you start getting, silly. You get lost. You're, wobbling. You're almost incoherent. People were coming. He was treating people in there that had 50%, not much more than half of 90, and they were talking on cell phones, doing stuff, and everything else. But then and then he looked at their organs and everything else, and they were dying. They were like just about dead. And then all of a sudden, poof, they die. And he was saying how bad it is that they don't know that they're dying and everything. Wrong. It's a blessing. They're good people, and they shouldn't be going through that. And it's a gift. When I think and talk about, I just think about compassion. And I start tearing up. You want to call me a wuss? Fine. I don't care. Doesn't matter. I know what I am. Why don't you try doing it in my face? So I'll give you some knuckles to eat. And that's in this condition. I fear nothing. I'm very anxious to get out of this body and be free so I can do what I'm going to do. What I've talked about, those people that are being good, and they've done nothing wrong, and the good people, once I'm out of the body, all of them are going to have a very smooth death. Right now, I can only do the best I can in the worst places. That's one reason it was happening in New York. Where they're being so stupid. Can't understand. I do understand what's going on there. I'll do that in a different video. But those, once once I'm free, those that have really been doing things, really hurting people everywhere, especially out in the CCP and all the governments, people who are really nasty, they're in test. I'm telling you now, you're going to find this out in the future. I don't believe it can happen until I'm gone, because I need to be free to do this. That part of me out there, he's doing what he can to help. But the real serious stuff, I'm pretty sure I need to do out of body. Some people might say, I have an identity crisis. I think I'm here and there. No, I don't. I'd put myself in a drug rehab place on purpose and let them, they could have thrown away the key and kept me there for whatever. They could have sent me to another intensive care hospital for mental patients, whatever you call it, for a year, and I wouldn't have been able to get out because I signed the paperwork. And I told them what I did, energy, talking to spirit guides, and their doctors, those doctors that were there, medical doctors, nurses, psychiatrists, even social workers. I was talking to all of them. They wanted to know what's going on. We know there's more to the brain than we understand. We're just now starting to unlock some of it. I'm like, good. Anyway, I am made of compassion and fortitude. I have love for everything. But I was made with a format to serve and protect. I'm no one's servant. Someone tells me what to do, they're going to get a nasty look, and I'll tell them what they need to do. But that's what I do. I've done that my whole life, is take care of everyone else. Animals first, because they're the ones that need it the most. Anyway, but like I said, those people that are hurting other people, they're going to go. And they're going to suffer. They're going to pay for what they've done. It's called justice. I'm going to start literally dissolving their intestinal walls. They're going to poison themselves to death. I mean, it's going to be nasty. All these dictators, everything else, and the Chinese Communist Party needs to be removed. And it's going. ET is going to come back down here out in the open. You're going to see all kinds of stuff. Once things settle down, if somebody actually wants to, you can ask them about me and they'll tell you. I talk with them all the time. So they're around here all the time. They've come here to help Deanna and I don't know how many times. Anyway, not going there, but so those people who are, loving and caring, those people who are good, that's how they're going to go when they go. They're going to be happy, and they're just going to stop. Those people that have been causing all this problem, the abusers, they'll be screaming. You'll see it. You'll see it. A lot of them just going to drop dead. They'll scream a little bit, and then there they go. See you. The other one, at 9 minutes and 36 seconds, same video. The one that shows on a picture shows Trump and it says dangerous signal, but it's got the other name to it, the other actual name to the video. This is right before where they show where the CCP were just starting their the CCP was just starting their 2 meetings that they have every year. They have 2 meetings back to back, and they decide, right now they think they're deciding the fate of the world. They have no idea what they're running into. So anyway, that was my energy out there about 3 o'clock. I was sleeping over here in Georgia. And that part of me just came out. It's me, my heart and everything else, but it knows that though it can't kill anything, you can go out there and serve notice. And he did. He served notice to the CCP. He made the whole sky go dark all over China. It's just like, what? Well, I don't know if it covered the whole country of China, but, excuse me, it was a huge area. Beijing was pitch black. The sky, it was thick. You could feel it. And then the lightning started going out everywhere. When I saw the lightning going out from a central point, the first thing that pops into my head, I said, well, you know, the ETs could do that. And I looked at it, and I said, that's not them. And then I looked at the dragon part of me, and I saw it. It's like that little lightning stuff was coming out, going. It's like it came out of the nostril. It was such a minimal output of energy, but it was to make a point. Remember this. You're going to remember what just happened, because you're all about to be destroyed. So anyway, those of you that know me, I've talked about this stuff for a while, and all this stuff happening now. There's another time I did that too, where I turned that part of me turned the sky dark. Again, all the hailstorms destroying cars and stuff. Their crops got wiped out. Thousands of acres from excessive flooding, excessive rain. The people there think that the gods are angry. Well, there's no such thing as a god. This god thing was the original first being, male and female, that's all. And your angels were both angels and devils. Demons. So anyway, that's it for the video. If you go through that, you're going to... You'll understand a little more about what's going on. Those of you that know me, some of you for years now, you know I'm not arrogant. You know I'm no better than nothing else. You know I'm extremely protective, and you know of my heart. I have a ton of love. But I'm very, very aggressive, and when things are bad, I go to default mode, and my default mode is protect. And when it comes to that, I'm vicious and unyielding. And there's nothing in creation that can stop me. They tried, they're dead. So those of you that don't know me and listen to the whole video, I kind of feel for you, because I just sound like a nut. But take some of the information I gave you, take the quantitative electroencephalogram and show it to someone. You know, trust, relax, and see how you feel inside. Everyone has their own truth, and the truth keeps changing as we gather more data, more information. Anyway, that's enough for this video, folks. The whole idea of this video is try not to worry. That's asking for something that's pretty much impossible, but I'm telling you, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And for those sphere orders, I'm going to mention it again in the beginning of the video. I'll have to make a little piece to put in there. I forgot a couple of things, which I always do. We can only sell the spheres to people inside the U.S. because every country has got serious mailing issues. We've sent some stuff to Deanna's family, who's also my family. I'm adopted, out in Spain. And they still haven't got it. And I don't know, I think it's probably a month ago or something. I don't know. So if you really want one and you have the money, I don't mean just enough. I mean, you have that much backup money where you're not worried about eating for, a couple of months or something. Everyone's finally getting out. Even some of the Democratic states are still keeping their people locked up. But Trump's put enough pressure on them to where they're starting to open up now. Everything's all the malarkey, all the caca that's been going on in government and everything, it'll all come out. You'll see literally where the Socialistic Party has just been trying to take, they lie to do anything. I had a neighbor for a while across the street. She bought the house and fixed it up, lived there while she was finishing fixing it up, and then she started renting it out, and she went out to go buy another one, fix it up, rent it out, and I talked with her. She's my neighbor. We had a little issue when she ran over my mailbox, and I told her, I said, sorry, but you need to replace that. So she said, okay. So she came up to me with a wooden peg, and I'm like, what? And I said, never mind. I'll take care of this myself. All you're doing is showing who you are. Well, I got to know her a little better, but not too much because I didn't want to. But she talked about the CCP. They gave her the money to buy the house. And then she's going to go buy more houses. And then she's going to, they'll give her more money to buy more houses. And then she sends the money to CCP. And China, that way China owns the property. She sends everything to them. This is not going to be allowed to happen. Okay, there's stuff being stopping this right now, but I'm telling you, when I'm out, wait and see what happens. It's not about hurting anyone. It's about fixing what's wrong. But those that have abused and tortured and everything else, they will suffer. Period. Karma's back. It's just about there. Folks, love you. Take care and have a good one.